Hola amigos, bien ok. Entonces hoy vamos a repasar para mí, para practicar un poco más leyendo en español con mi nuevo libro que yo conseguí con la biblioteca con fama cerca de aquí. Pero también para demostrar cómo yo utilizar pues, libros que yo estoy leyendo en español para mejorar mi vocabulario. Y también es el mismo método que usted puede utilizar para mejorar tu inglés. Listo. Entonces, recuerdo que en total tenemos todo el vocabulario que nosotros escuchar en alguna situación afuera o en videos o televisor o cual. Y también el vocabulario que nosotros visto para leer. Y con estos utilizados juntos para enfocar para algunos escenarios especiales, para oraciones específicas por cosas que nosotros necesitamos hacer. Y claro, por estas las frases o las oraciones específicas es más o menos para nosotros preparar los que nosotros necesitamos decir, distinto por las cosas que nosotros va a escuchar. Porque claro, nosotros vamos a escuchar mucho más vocabulario en cualquier situación que nosotros necesitamos utilizar para nosotros hablar o preguntar específico. Listo. So today we're going to look at a bit more reading for me in Spanish in my new book. And I'm going to show you how, while I'm doing the reading, I can use it to pick out some new vocabulary for me, which again, I can start to build a bank of useful vocabulary, which eventually I might be able to add back in to the specific phrases I need for the situations I'm preparing for. So obviously, we get a lot of vocabulary during the day for different things we're reading, we're listening to, we hear, the conversations we're having. And that's good because we need to improve the vocabulary. But in the end, the way we're practicing for particular situations, we might not need anywhere near as many of those words for us, for the phrases we're going to prepare for us to say. So in a given situation, again, more of it's listening, to be familiar with the vocabulary we need for that situation that we're going to be hearing, and that's going to help us remember when it's appropriate for us to say the phrases that we're preparing for the situation. But at this point in the process, I'm just doing my reading to practice my sound in Spanish, hopefully improve that. And then I'm going to go back through and note out the words and phrases as I find them. Now, I prepared this a bit earlier because I looked at the paragraph I'm going to read now to demonstrate, but you should get the idea. So when I'm doing the reading, I read the whole page, maybe 2 pages, straight through. I don't really stop. I keep reading and I rely on the text to generally explain what it's about. If there are particular words that I really don't understand and I can't work out from the context, then I'll look it up immediately. But otherwise, I just carry on reading, and then I've hopefully got a general understanding of what it's about. But then I go back, look for a phrase I thought, no, I don't really remember exactly what that one is. If I had to translate it, I have to guess a bit on context, just to make sure I've understood what it really means. Then I take notes so that I produce a range from this. So just in the paragraph that I'm going to read now, I ended up with, what's that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 new words, 7 words that were new to me just in one paragraph. So you can see you can generate quite a few bits of vocabulary from even quite a short reading, but initially it's not about translating every word as you go. It's it'd be a very long-winded process. So I find it's better just to keep reading, read a page or two, make sure you've got a general understanding of it, because that should gauge you the level of where you are. You can understand most of what's on the page, maybe 80% of what's on the page. And then after that, go back, look at some of the main phrases, and then we can look to see if any of these are going to be useful for us in the future for some of the scenarios we're preparing for. Okay, so that's the idea. But for now, let's go to page 117, and we'll see how well I'm doing. So I'm going to read just this first paragraph here. Yeah? Okay. El líder en costos es el primer líder en valor. La idea central de esta curva es que hay muchas posiciones distintas en el mercado y una sola de ellas logra su distinción a través de precios bajos. Solo hay un precio más bajo. Esa es su diferenciación o, mejor, su forma de ser distinta. Para que esta posición pueda estar en la frontera de competitividad, tiene que ser la de más bajo costo. La geometría convexa del modelo de Porter comunica nítidamente ese imperativo. El líder en costos es el único que puede tener altos márgenes y los más bajos precios. Esto parece trivial, pero es algo que confunde a la mayoría de la gente, que confunde al líder en costos con bajos márgenes. El secreto es tener bajos precios y altos márgenes, y el modelo sugiere que solo hay uno que lo puede hacer, y para poderlo hacer se enfrenta a escogencias radicales. No se puede llegar a ser el líder en costos, no se puede llegar a ser el líder en costos en una industria a base de mejoras e incrementalismo, o a base de buscar grandes volúmenes que diluyen costos. El gran mensaje es que esta posición, como cualquier otra, se esculpe en el mercado a través de escogencias difíciles. Porter plantea el ejemplo más memorable de liderazgo en costos con su clásico ejemplo de Southwest. Vuelos directos en una industria dominada por hubs and spokes. Un solo tipo de avión que reduce la flexibilidad y aumentaba la vulnerabilidad de una flota. Un alcance doméstico en una era de alianzas internacionales. Eran todas ellas escogencias seguramente muy difíciles y que además se apartaban de la sabiduría convencional de la industria. Pero son ellas el secreto del liderazgo en costos de Southwest en el mercado aéreo de Estados Unidos. Well, there we go. So, espero mi sonido es un poco mejor ya, pero más para practicar. Ok, so, principalmente yo leeré una página en total y después vuelve y nota algunas frases que yo pienso, no seguro cuáles, si yo entender o no. So I read pretty much a whole page like that, read out loud, see how I go. Then I go back and I'm trying then to just generally see if I can more or less translate that in my head quickly to what we're talking about here. And then the other words I see that really, I'm not sure about that one, they're the ones I'm going to look up. Then we end up with a nice list of words. So as I say, here I've ended up with 7 or so phrases, but maybe for the future I'll be able to put back into the scenarios I'm going to prepare for later on. But generally, the reading is principally to work on the voice and the pronunciation. That's the most important part initially. That's why we read out loud. Because when we get to the specific scenarios that we need to practice for, obviously we're going to be doing more listening in that situation than we are speaking. And the dialogue we're going to prepare, the sentences we're going to prepare, are going to be quite minimal. The idea of this is that we're just listening for specific vocabulary in that scenario, and when we hear the specific words that are key words, that will trigger us to be able to say our key sentence, which will then get the response from the other person, and then we can again ask them for more information, so we can do a lot more listening generally. And that's going to help us have better control of our conversations, because we don't have to remember lots and lots and lots of vocabulary for us necessarily to use, but we need to be familiar with the vocabulary that we're likely to hear, and for this reason we do the reading generally to try and get a better understanding of particular topics. Okay, so that's our thing for today. I hope that's helpful. Y por favor, díceme en los comentarios sus pensamientos con mi acento en español ya. Espero que es mejor. I hope it's improving. Have a great day. Cheerio for now.